reissue of shares. We cancel the shares. We have an option available to give it to someone else also. When we reissue shares, there are three conditions for that. You can reissue at par, premium, or at discount. Let's understand this. There was a 10 rupee share. You had asked for full 10 rupee per share. The person had not given 2 rupees of final call. Now what will happen? On these share 2 is not received. Called up is 10, 8 is given, 2 is not given. When you give this to someone else, you may give it at 10 rupees. If I reissue it at 10 rupees, I make a profit of 8 rupees which I have already received. But when I reissue it at say 15 rupees, again I make a profit of 8 rupees only, because 5 extra is credited to securities premium account. But we have an option available. We may issue it at discount. That means at a price less than rupees 10. Now what is that? How much less? That can be what we have already received. So on this share, what we have received is 8 per share. That is the maximum discount we can give, or minimum price at which this should be reissued should be 2 rupees, so that we don't make any. Up to no profit no loss is possible, but reissue can never be at loss. So you can give a discount up to amount received by you. Here, let's come to examples of the same. Say A Limited forfeited 100 shares of 10 each for non-payment of final call of 2 per share. So for feature entries, share capital debit 100 into 10, share for feature credit sorry. So what we have received is, the share capital gets debited with 100 into 10. Share for feature gets credited with 100 into 8 which we have received, and calls in area gets credited with 100 into 2. Now let me see if this share is reissued at rupees 10 per share. Entry becomes bank debit. I am getting 100 into 10. Share capital gets credited with paid up capital. If nothing is given, called up is equal to paid up. This is fully called shares, so share capital gets credited with 100 into 10. So in this deal, we made a profit of 800 and there is no loss. So we have to close forfeiture account. So this balance of share forfeiture account 800 rupees goes to capital reserve. This is when we reissued at 10 rupees. What if this was reissued at rupees 12 per share? That means 2 rupees more. Bank debit 12 into 100. Share capital gets credited with face value 10 into 100. Securities premium gets credited with 2 into 100. Now again we have made a profit of 800 and no loss. So we transfer from share forfeiture balance of 800 to capital reserve, same amount. Now our third possibility, we can reissue at discount. So how much discount is that discount we can give? What have we received? 8 rupees. That's the maximum discount allowed. So what if this is maximum discount possible? This is minimum price 2 rupees. But they decide to reissue at rupees 6 per share. So entry becomes bank debit 100 into 6. Share capital gets credited with paid up capital, nothing given. Paid up is equal to called up. This is fully called, 10 gets credited. On a 10 rupee share, we have asked for 6 rupees. We have allowed a discount of 4 rupees. This discount can be adjusted against the forfeiture balance which we have. So this 100 into 4 gets debited to share forfeiture account. 100 into 4, 400. We made a profit of 800, loss of 400. Or if I make your forfeiture account, it is credited with 800, debited with 400. So remaining 400 which is left goes to capital reserve. So entry is share forfeiture to capital reserve 400, 400. That's the accounting treatment if it is fully called and fully paid. Let's see one example where the share is partly called up. Say 100 shares are forfeited. Each share is of 10 rupees. Called up is, this is face value. Called up is say 7 per share, and first call of 2 is not given. So what will be our forfeiture entry? Share capital debit 100 into called up capital is 7. Share forfeiture and calls in arrear gets credited. Calls in arrear with amount not received, that is 2 rupees per share. Out of 7, 2 not received. What is received is 5 rupees per share. This is our forfeiture entry. Now reissue, let's look at 3 situations. Reissue, when we do, what is important is with what amount share capital gets credited. The entry for reissue is bank debit, share forfeiture debit if we have any discount on reissue, share capital credit. Share capital gets credited with paid up capital. How much is paid? See, this is a 10 rupee share. When we reissue, we may consider it as a 10 rupee thing. We may consider it as a 7 rupee, 8 rupee, 9 rupee. That has to be stated. If nothing is stated, called up is considered as paid up. Now with that value, we compare the price which we are getting, and the difference goes to share forfeiture account. Let's see example 1. If this share was reissued at rupees 7 per share as 7 paid up. If alternatively it was given, it was reissued at rupees 7 per share. Nothing given, called up is equal to paid up. So that would have also meant that paid up is 7 in this case. Let's see the entry for this. Entry becomes bank debit. We are getting 100 into 7 per share. Share capital is also credited with 100 into 7. So this 500 which we had received is completely our gain. Share forfeiture to capital reserve, we transfer full 500. I repeat, Share capital was credited with 7. We considered it as a 7 rupee thing. Now I come to another case. In that I take up that this share was, this is case 2, was reissued at rupees 7 per share as fully paid up. That means we are considering that at the time of reissue the share is of 10 rupees. Out of 10, 7 received, 3 not received. Let's put it as entry. Bank debit 100 into 7. Share forfeiture debit the discount which we have allowed 100 into 3. We are considering it as a 10 rupee thing. Earlier we was considering it as a 7 rupee thing. So share capital gets credited. The word will given here is fully paid up, which tells us that 100 into 10 will come here. Out of 10 when 7 received, 3 is discount. So 500 gain, 300 loss. Next entry is share forfeiture to capital reserve. 500 minus 300, 200 rupees. We have to see what is paid up. If paid up was 7, there was no discount, but if we consider the paid up as 10, then we have a discount. Let's see the case of premium. If this same share, okay, case 3, this share was reissued at rupees 8 per share as 7 paid up. That means for 7 rupee thing we are getting 8. So bank debit 100 into 8. Share capital 100 into 7 because paid up is that. So securities premium is 100 into 1. So whole 500 goes to capital reserve. So share forfeiture to capital reserve is 100, the full 500. Thank you.